Stay till the end, because what this billionaire said when he saw that tattoo will give you chills. The narrator's voice begins over soft piano music. And if this story touches your heart, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because sometimes, one story can change how you see people forever. It all started on a rainy Tuesday morning, in the lobby of one of the tallest skyscrapers in the city. Mark Dawson, a quiet, tired-eyed janitor in his mid-30s, pushed his cleaning cart through the gleaming marble floors. His uniform was faded, his hands rough, and his eyes, though weary, carried a kind of quiet determination. He wasn't supposed to be here for glory. He was here for his son, little Tommy, a 7-year-old boy with asthma who believed his dad was a superhero. Mark had once been something else, someone else. But that was a lifetime ago, before the war, before the night that took his wife, before the injuries and the nightmares. Now, he mopped floors, emptied trash cans, and swallowed his pride, one day at a time. That morning, the building was buzzing with excitement. The CEO of Dorian Tech, billionaire entrepreneur Nathan Dorian himself, was visiting. Nathan was young, handsome, and arrogant, a man born into money who believed that success was measured by how many people looked up when you entered a room. As Mark worked quietly in the corner of the lobby, Nathan and his entourage walked in, their laughter echoing off the marble walls. The CEO's designer shoes splashed a small puddle that Mark had just mopped. Nathan looked down, irritated. "Hey! You missed a spot, janitor," he said sharply, waving a hand like Mark was invisible. His assistant and bodyguards chuckled. Mark looked up briefly, forcing a polite smile. "Sorry, sir. I'll take care of it." Nathan sneered. "You know, maybe if you worked as hard on your life as you do cleaning floors, you wouldn't be down there." The laughter that followed hit harder than any punch Mark had taken in combat. He said nothing, just nodded, wrung out his mop, and kept working. Later that day, while cleaning the executive floor, Mark heard a voice from one of the offices. "Dad! Please, I just need a few more days." It was the voice of a young woman, trembling. Mark realized it was Nathan's daughter, Emily. She'd been trying to start her own charity project for veterans but was being cut off financially by her father. Nathan's voice thundered back, "You think the world owes you something because of those soldiers? They knew what they signed up for. No one gave me anything, I built this empire myself." Mark froze outside the door. The word sliced through him, reopening wounds that never healed. He quickly turned away, his jaw tight, but something inside him stirred, not anger, but sorrow. That night, Mark returned home to his small apartment. Tommy ran up, coughing but smiling. "Daddy! Guess what? I told my teacher you're my hero." Mark smiled faintly, kneeling down. "Oh yeah? Why's that, buddy?" "Because heroes clean up messes, and make things better." Mark hugged him tightly. "Yeah, buddy. That's what we do." A few days later, the company held its annual charity gala, a lavish event meant to showcase Dorian Tech's commitment to social causes. Mark, as part of the cleaning staff, was assigned to work during the gala, tidying up quietly while the rich and powerful laughed over champagne. Nathan stood on stage, boasting about his company's donations. "We believe in building a future where everyone has a chance, as long as they work for it," he declared, smirking toward the staff. Just then, a loud crash broke the silence. One of the waiters slipped, sending glass shattering across the floor near the stage. Mark rushed in to help, instinctively shielding a guest from falling debris. As he did, the sleeve of his uniform tore, revealing a tattoo on his upper arm. It was a black ink insignia of the 101st Airborne Division. Surrounded by scars, the room went still. A veteran at one of the tables gasped. "That's the mark of the Screaming Eagles," he whispered. Nathan frowned, stepping closer. "Wait, you served?" Mark hesitated, standing up. "Yes, sir. Iraq. 8 years. Honorable discharge." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Cameras flashed. One of the guests, a retired general, stood up. "You're Sergeant Mark Dawson? The one who saved an entire convoy during Operation Firestorm?" Mark looked uncomfortable. "That was a long time ago, sir." But the general didn't stop. "You earned the Silver Star for that. I remember reading your name." Suddenly, the atmosphere changed. The same people who had looked past him all week now looked at him like they were seeing him for the first time. Nathan's face went pale. He cleared his throat. "Well, we're honored to have you with us, Sergeant." Mark nodded humbly. "I'm just doing my job, sir." "Same as always." Then he turned to the crowd. "If I may say something," the host handed him the microphone. Mark looked around at the expensive suits and sparkling jewelry. "You know, when I came home from war, I thought the hardest part was over. But the real battle started here, trying to rebuild a life, raise a son alone, and find a little dignity in honest work. People see a janitor, and they think failure. But what they don't see is the courage it takes to keep showing up when no one claps for you." The room was silent. Even Nathan's daughter, Emily, had tears in her eyes. Mark continued softly, "Respect isn't about your paycheck or your title. It's about how you treat people who can do nothing for you." The audience erupted in applause. Nathan stood frozen, realizing the weight of his earlier cruelty. After the event, he approached Mark privately. "I owe you an apology," he said quietly. "And maybe more than that. I didn't see the man behind the mop." Mark smiled faintly. "That's okay. You see him now." Over the next few weeks, Nathan launched a new initiative, one inspired by Emily's idea, a veterans employment program, giving soldiers a second chance at civilian life. He publicly credited Mark for opening his eyes. Mark didn't ask for fame or fortune. He kept working, but now, every person in that building greeted him with respect. One day, Nathan came down personally to offer him a promotion to building operations supervisor, a desk job with better pay and benefits for his son's treatment. Mark accepted, but what mattered most wasn't the job. It was the look in his son's eyes when he said, "Told you, Daddy. You are a superhero." And in that moment, Mark realized something powerful: heroes don't wear capes or command armies. Sometimes, they carry mops. So if you've ever felt overlooked, if you've ever been laughed at for doing what you have to do, remember Mark's story. The narrator closes, voice steady with emotion. "Your worth isn't measured by what's in your wallet, but by what's in your heart." And if this story moved you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us, kindness always wins.